Hello, welcome, Jay Fazette here, and we are at Mastermind Mondays. Today we are going to talk about fill your mastermind with ease. Now, fill your mastermind with ease is really a fascinating topic, and it is one of the things that most people struggle, and most people struggle because they attempt to fill their mastermind with traditional marketing. And you know what I mean, run a Facebook ad, send an email, all the rest of it. And here's the truth of it, it doesn't work, and it doesn't work for this reason, is that masterminds are sold based on this crazy thing that's called a relationship, okay? Now, here's the thing, we want three pieces. We want to, number one, establish a relationship. And let's be clear about this, an email isn't the ideal way to develop a relationship. Now, not only that, let's imagine that we get the relationship up and running. Our next step in terms of, I want to move them towards mastermind, if I have a relationship, then what I want to do is I want to increase intimacy. And let's be frank, when was the last time a Facebook ad or an email when it's like, ooh, I feel really intimate? Now, unless you were surfing an odd site, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's going to help. So, we move from relationship to intimacy. Next piece is this, is that when these two things combine, what we're really up to is developing influence. And I want to be very clear about this. Influence means nothing more than this, than the capacity to get someone to act. That's what we're after, the capacity to get someone to act. And the truth of the matter is this, is that most human beings can do that 100 times stronger in a face-to-face, heart-to-heart, belly-to-belly personal relationship than you can in the digital domain. Now, let me be clear about this. I understand that the digital domain is convenient. I can take a little selfie, I can press send, and it's like, oh, look at how grand things are. I can craft a beautiful email, and I can press send from the safety of my basement without anyone ever saying to me, no, I don't want to. That's a stupid idea. Why would I do it with you? Because that is the courageous stand that you need to do, is to risk disapproval. And it's a hell of a lot easier to risk disapproval digitally than it is face-to-face, heart-to-heart. So I understand all of the reasons why people want to do it in what I'm going to call the traditional digital marketing method, but that fundamentally doesn't work. Fundamentally doesn't work. If you're a New York Times best-selling author, maybe you got a shot. If you have a tribe of 300,000, maybe you got a shot. If you have live events where people are like adoring you from afar, maybe you got a shot. But for most of us mere mortals, you're going to need to revert to these three things. Build a relationship. Invest in that relationship so that you can increase intimacy. And in that process, you're going to get to a spot where you have the influence to say, hey, I run a powerful group of bricks and mortar entrepreneurs who are tech courageous and wanting to create an online business breakthrough. And I think you might be a perfect match for this group. Do you want to have a conversation about participating in my mastermind? That conversation, face-to-face, to the right person, when you have influence, generates this magical thing called a mastermind member. So, here's the big deal. If you're going to fill your mastermind with ease, step number one, the digital process, it has a place, but it's not likely going to work for most mere mortals. You have a job. It is to establish real relationships, heart-to-heart, face-to-face with real human beings. Number two, increase the intimacy, such that you can get to this process and to this spot where you actually have influence with that individual so you can make the direct and honest request of, do you want to do this with me because you're the right person for my tribe? You get that piece handled and you will fill your masterminds with ease. Now, a little sidebar to this. What we do in all of our programs, Launch Your Mastermind 90-Day Bootcamp, our Mastermind to Millions Live program, which is coming up soon. It is amazing. We teach specific methods to do that. Number one, relationships, intimacy, influence. To do that in groups. To do that having fun. In fact, we have a code name for it called Wine Conversations and Cash, because you drink a little wine, you have a meaningful conversation, and it always leads to cash. So we're going to teach you more about that process in all of our events. So come check us out at Mastermind to Millions, our next event coming up in Vegas. So visit mastermind2millionslive.com, mastermind2millionslive.com. Get yourself a ticket, get your butt to Vegas, and we'll help you get your mastermind up and running, joyfully, having fun, having profit, and making a monumental difference. We'll see you there.